going to be none other than Atasha's topic, okay? If it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. So, Shannon Sharpe about here in these streets having an alleged lawsuit that has come out about SA and domestic violence against a woman that was 19 years old at the time. Okay, let's talk about it. All right. Okay, so I guess it's Shannon Sharpe's turn. You know, this is the year of exposure, and for some reason, these celebrities tend to think that what they did in the past is not going to come out to haunt them, and apparently it's Shannon Sharpe's turn. Let's get into the things of things. Y'all know I take notes, and so we're gonna talk about it. We are going to talk about it. It's really no laughing matter, but at the end of the day, I just chuckle because it's mind-boggling to me how these celebrities just get themselves into these uncompromising situations, and then they come out and they want to deny, even when proof has come out. Okay, there's been footage leaked of him on the phone with this young woman who is now 21 years old because they dated for 2 years, but at the time she was 19 years old. So in case y'all do not know who Shannon Sharpe is, let me fill y'all in on the D's, okay? So over here in the U.S., because I get a lot of viewers from other countries, okay? Shannon Sharpe is 56 years old. He is a former NFL player. He played for the Denver Broncos. He also played for the Ravens, okay? He has been inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. He has a podcast called Club Shay Shay, and he also has another sports podcast that he does, but doesn't get a lot of attention like Club Shay Shay. On Club Shay Shay, y'all know he is known for that infamous interview with Cat Williams, who set the ball in motion for all of this exposure things that is coming out, right? What's up, Janae? Welcome. It's calling me. All right, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. If the screen went dark for a second, that's because someone called, and I don't understand why they keep doing that. I have blocked these said calls. But anyway, let's get into the things of the things. So again, like I said, if y'all don't know who Shannon Sharpe is, that's who he is. He has all of these notches under his belt for who he is, right? So let's get into this lawsuit, right? So Shannon Sharpe faces a $50 million lawsuit over SA allegations, okay? So this is what happened. There has been audio footage released, okay, of him on the phone with this young woman. Her lawyer, and y'all not going to be shocked by this because this man goes after all of the affluent athletes. Tony Busby, okay? He's at it again. Y'all remember Tony Busby? He went after Jay-Z for that alleged lawsuit. He ended up not winning on that end because Jay-Z, of course, had some powerful people in his corner. And so that ended up being swept under the rug, put to rest. But if you ask me, if that wasn't true, that Jay-Z lawsuit, I feel that he also has something shaking and baking back in the day. You can't make me feel no different, okay? But we talking about Shannon Sharpe. So Tony Busby, y'all know he went after Jay-Z. Y'all know he is representing some of the people in the Diddy case. He loves going after affluent people, okay? In the audio recording, I actually heard the audio recording, and you can hear Shannon Sharpe on this audio recording saying that he would choke the woman, okay, and choke her in public if he has to. So, and that was his voice, because Shannon Sharpe has a distinct voice. Because some people like to say, oh, you know how we living in this deceptive generation. How do we know that's him? How do we know that phone call was real? The phone call was pausing a lot. And let me just tell y'all, I listened to the phone call. It was pausing a lot. It was a very dry phone call, which makes it seem like there might have been some tweaking or editing of the things. However, I always tell people, like, okay, just because it's some tweaking, it's some editing, it's some other stuff going on, the bottom line of it is that he was in a relationship at his grown age with this 19-year-old girl, and he did, well, that, we're going to leave it at that, because I'm just going to say allegedly out of this whole thing, okay? So, she has been dating Shannon Sharpe for 2 years, okay? She met him at 19 at the gym, okay? So, yeah, I can just say this. I actually thought that Shannon Sharpe was gay. I'm just going to say this. Y'all can throw tomatoes if y'all want. I don't know. He was giving gay vibes for a minute. And y'all remember, right, in the media, they was coming out with little hints that he was traveling too much with his stylist. And he might have been on that, you know, in that community. Now, that is all allegedly because, you know, we don't know. We don't know. We just don't know what these celebrities be up to, okay? So, she been dating him for 2 years. She met him when she was 19 at the gym. And now she is suing him for $50 million for essay and battery, okay? The lawsuit was filed on a crazy day, y'all. It was filed on Easter Sunday. I said, can Jesus have his day? How the heck y'all gonna file a lawsuit on Easter Sunday? I said, that is just really wild to me. But they went ahead and they did it. So she's not releasing her name. She's considered a Jane Doe right now. And what happened was she found out he was cheating and everything like that because backtrack, okay? Shannon Sharpe actually, this is not his first time in some uncompromising situations, okay? He ended up going live on IG some time ago where he was having sexual relations with a woman named Michelle on IG Live. And all of the followers were able to tune in and witness or hear, because I didn't see it or hear it, this sexual encounter, okay? And this is what steamrolled this Jane Doe and maybe getting mad with him and maybe having this conversation and things of that nature, okay? Michelle said too that he actually recorded her without her knowledge. So I don't think that you accidentally go live on IG, because we all know these social media streets. Ain't no way you could hit, you have to actually go to IG, hit the button, go live and all of, there is no accidental on that. So I'm calling cap on him saying that, yeah, I accidentally did that on purpose. That's cap. You did not do that on purpose. That's what the young people say today. Cap, you're lying. So let's move on, okay? The Jane Doe said that he essayed her twice, okay? To the tune of battery and grape, okay? Y'all fill in the words. His lawyer, Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, is claiming, and it's the narrative they trying to go with. They're claiming that this young woman likes this graphic type of sex, that she likes certain kinks and things like that. So when he said he would choke her if she said something else, and when she didn't say something else, he was like, thank you. You know, that makes me think that she's not into the choking, sir, that you were trying to allude to. But they're trying to spin this narrative from his legal defense that she is really into that type of kinky behavior. Now, I'm going to say this. I ain't in everybody's bedroom. I don't know what you're into. But a sexual choke or grab around the neck is something totally different from a man saying, I'm going to choke you and choke the life out of you, okay? So, but that's the narrative they're trying to run with. They said she likes role playing and different things like that. I'm like, so you mean to tell me this conversation that was leaked between them two was a role playing type of situation, right? I don't believe that. But they're also saying that things was left out of the audio that we did not hear that would allude to the fact that she likes the role playing and things of that nature, okay? Let's move forward on what happened. So he came out and responded. He came out and responded about these allegations, because a hit dog will holler, in my opinion. But he came out and responded, and he goes and says, of course, like everyone thought that he would, that he's being shook down, that this is not true, that Tony Busby is out to destroy black men. Now, pause right there, okay? Some of these black celebrities, these men these days that get caught in these uncompromising situations, always go to the narrative that they are out to get the black man. They're out to get the white man is out to get the black man. Sir, no one can get you if you don't do something to be got. And if your name is not associated with something to be got of. If that makes sense, right? You can't sit up here and say they're out to get me. This is a shakedown if you are not in a relationship with a 19-year-old girl. Now, Shannon Sharpe is in his 50s. He was 50, right now he's 56. So he was 54 when he met this 19-year-old girl. Sir, why are you in a relationship with a 19-year-old? See, this is what I don't understand about these men who are older men. Now, until the beginning beginning of time, men have always been infatuated and wanted to be in relationships with younger women. This is no surprise, right? However, fast forward to 2025 with everything that's going on, especially with the Diddy case. Why do young freaking celebrities that have so much to lose get into these situationships, relationships with these 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-olds that does not have any type of drive to want to work because they figure my job is going to be fit and skinny and cute and get the attention of these celebrities. And when I do, I'm going to get them in an uncompromising situation. Then I'm going to sue them for a large amount of money and make sure that I am set at least up until my 40s until I can get into some type of other scandal with an uncompromised situation with a celebrity. Now, I'm not blaming this Jane Doe or saying that her allegations is false. I'm just saying that these celebrities need to stop sitting up here thinking that somebody's trying to shake them down and railroad them when you put yourselves in these situations. Stop putting yourself in these situations and you won't get shook down. I just don't understand that. So that's what he's saying, that he's getting shook down, okay? Now, we also find out in this case that the latest SA situation happened in January, okay? Happened in January of this year. Now, Shannon's lawyers are trying to come out and say that they negotiated with Jane Doe. Now, if you do not have anything to be guilty of, why are you negotiating with the terrorist? Why are you negotiating with the woman who is accusing you of SA? If nothing happened, if you are innocent, why negotiate? Why try to come to some type of agreement? Okay, that makes me feel like that he very well could have done something to this young lady. Now, this is all allegedly because I wasn't there. We wasn't there. We don't know what happened in the confines of their home. But what we do know, Shannon, is that you need to be ashamed of yourself for being involved with some 19-year-old chick. Now, I know people gonna get on my comments, probably replay watchers. What's up, y'all? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I know some people going to get in the comments and talk about some, well, she was an adult. She's 18 years old. I get all of that, okay? Yes, 18 years old in the laws of the land in the United States, you are considered an adult. You can vote and be considered an adult, okay? But I just think some of these older men use that age to be very predatory and go after these young women. Because at 50-something years old, what do you have in common with a 19-year-old? Date in your age bracket. But what they want to do is get these young girls and try to manipulate them and make it feel like that they have money, age, wisdom, and power, and so they lord over these young women, and they're so naive and goofy and probably just happy to be with some type of celebrity that they do not think this is not the way I should be treated because they let the money blind them, okay? So what else happened with this case, y'all? Shannon said that he is going to sue. He said he's going to sue Busby, the lawyer that's representing the Jane Doe, for defamation, okay? I don't know if he's going to win that case. I did not look up the definition of defamation, and I always kind of give y'all definitions, even though we kind of know what it means, but I want to make sure we all are aware on the legal standpoint. But I'm just going to give you my view. I think defamation is something that is a lie that cannot be proven. Now, or that you're saying against somebody that's slandering their name. So if you're trying to bring a lawsuit of defamation, then it's probably something like you have to prove that this actually is attached to this person's name. So I don't think that he will win a defamation lawsuit because of the mere fact that we have audio recording of you talking to this young girl. We know that he likes the white women. That is no secret. And yeah, the evidence is out there. It's been released. So it's not like that Busby is pulling out a lawsuit that is doesn't have his name attached to it in some way. Now, he could say that he is filing this misleading information, that he actually did not commit a SA act or a rape against this girl. He could go on and say maybe that's a defaming part, I'm believing, but I believe that something did happen. I believe something did happen. You can't make me think no different. He has power, money, and that's all he about has going for him, because really Shannon Sharpe, in my opinion, voice is annoying, very country dude, and I don't know, shade to the country man, because my husband's country. But he has his very like drawl that's just annoying to me, you know. And he's not a looker, in my opinion. I don't care how many muscles you have and how tall you are and all of this. He's just not a looker for me, you know. That's for me. But however, he manipulated this young girl, and now he has a lawsuit on his hand to the tune of $50 million. You know, the generation these days, they don't really have to get a job. If you are a pretty girl that has a nice shape and you can get yourselves in the right circles of entertainment, you can just sit back and make up something and get paid. And I'm not saying she made up something, but I'm just saying these celebrities need to be smarter than this. How do y'all continue to fall for the game? How do y'all continue to fall for these BBL Instagram models and they take advantage of your pocket, but then won't go get married? Because they're like, I don't want the woman to take half if we get a divorce. But you would rather give a large settlement to some young chick that is having your name smeared across blogs and social media, sir. So you don't want to get married, but you would rather give your money up for that. That is crazy to me. Okay, at least if you get married and you get a divorce and the wife ends up getting half of your earnings or whatever, at least you can say, I lost it in a divorce settlement. It was from my wife. But to end up going and losing a large amount of money in a SA case, in a case that is attached to rape, that is ridiculous to me. And I don't understand why they keep falling for the crap. I just don't get it. It's so stupid. So we're going to hear what happens with this case in more detail with it. Again, all of this is alleged. This is very alleged. Because I don't want nobody finding my channel in its infancy. In its beginning stages. I was trying to say infancy, but I don't know. But anyway, I don't want nobody finding my little channel and being like, oh, okay, she putting out some information that is not, and she didn't say alleged, and because of that, we gonna sue her. First of all, you sue me. What you gonna get? I got a bunch of shoes, a bunch of clothes. I got a little bit of money in the bank, you know what I'm saying? A card is paid off, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't going to get much out of me, okay? So if you go ahead, you can sue all day long, but it ain't going to happen the way you think, okay? So I'm just reporting on what's already public knowledge and in the news. It ain't like I'm making up this story, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all, that's it. That's all I got for this case. This was a very short live video. Normally I do my Tasha's topics on today, but I wanted to come out and talk about this particular case because I thought it was quite interesting of a case on Shannon Sharpe. And yeah, man, it's his turn, I guess. You know, it just appears that this is a year. Like Cat Williams did an interview on his show last year and was just like everything would be exposed. And he didn't say that in those words verbatim, but he kind of alluded to the fact that a lot of people's heads was about to roll. Okay, and I don't know. I could imagine that Shannon Sharpe did not think when he was interviewing Cat Williams at the time that he would be one of them heads that was going to roll, right? However, that does not mean that he is guilty. It does not mean that he's guilty. However, when your name is attached to some stuff and you in these rooms dealing in situations, it leads people to kind of lean towards believing that it's true. And so you got to separate yourself from this world. Like you can't. Being friends with the world is only going to cause you to end up being doom, gloom, taken advantage of, possibly losing money, losing friends, maybe going crazy, all types of stuff, okay? This world is just so messed up. And when you want to be so famous, when you want to be friends with this world, you end up going through things like this. This man at his old age should have more wisdom than to get involved with a female that could possibly be his granddaughter. Like he's 56 right now. She's 21 right now. She could be his granddaughter. Why, sir, are you involved? Now, let me say, 56, 21. Yeah, she could probably be his granddaughter. Yeah. So why, sir, are you involved with somebody who is so much younger than you. I just don't understand it. And don't sit up here and try to paint the picture that she is legal. Yes, she's legal, but she's very, very immature according to the audio. Now, shout out to the Shade Room. They dropped the audio on Instagram. If y'all want to go to Instagram, to Shade Room, and hear the audio, right? What's up, Fee? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button. So y'all can go in Shade Room. Y'all can listen to the live. They posted it. And the live, I'm gonna say this, that freaking phone call was boring. I almost fell asleep listening to the daggone conversation. I was like, and that's what a lot of people are saying, that it seems like it was edited because the live has so many spaces in it and it was very dry and all this other stuff. It was very dry. But Shannon Sharpe to me is dry. I mean, he just doesn't, he don't do it for me, okay? He just doesn't do it for me. Hey, I was waiting for this, right? I've been on for a little bit and I kind of covered it. So since some new people is coming in the room, y'all welcome to the live. Welcome to the Redefine Me channel. Go ahead and like this video up and comment in the comments. Shout out to the live watchers and the replay watchers. And I'm gonna just go quickly over just a recap of this whole case and what I think. So we talking about Shannon Sharpe in case you just hit in the room, right? Now, recently he has had allegations, and I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't want them coming for my few little items I have. I don't want them coming for my shoe collection and my little money in the bank and my clothes that I have and everything like that, because they love to sue these days. But that's all you're going to get from me, because, baby, I don't have what you want, one of these locks, because that's all I about got going on, okay? So, allegedly, Shannon Sharpe, okay? He is 56 years old. He is a former NFL player. He played for the Denver Broncos. He played for the Baltimore Ravens as well. He has won 3 Super Bowls. He is in the NFL Hall of Fame. He also hosts a podcast called Club Shay Shay, which he interviews a lot of different comedians and other celebrities, okay? He is blown up in that podcast space, right? And it's crazy because that's just proof to know that if you have money and power behind you, you can blow up. Because Shannon Sharpe cannot hold a proper conversation. He sounds so, I'm gonna say this. He sounds slow when he talks, in my opinion. He has this country swing low sweet chariot slave talk, in my opinion, when he talks. And he's a horrible interviewer, okay? The only reason I have watched his podcast when he does interview someone is because I like some of the people that he interviews. But he's gotten a little better with the questions, but for the most part, whatever. And he always wearing these tight clothes. And for the life of me, like I said previously, I thought that he was gay. I mean, I really, really did. I was just like, okay, he got a lawsuit coming out. Kind of made me want to discount the credit of the lawsuit, not victim blaming, only because of the mere fact that I thought he was swinging for the other team. That's what I thought. But anyway, let me recap real quick. So he is being... a lawsuit is being filed against him for the tune of $50 million. What's up, Big Kane in the building? What's going on, sis? So, a lawsuit being filed against Shannon Sharpe to the tune of $50 million over sexual assault, SA, and rape allegations. Now, this is all allegedly. However, we know Shannon Sharpe like the white women. He loved him, the white women, okay? And this girl is none other than white. Now, if you like white women as a black man, that's your preference, baby. Do your thing. And it's always the men that we don't want anyway. We be like, we don't want you anyway. You know what I'm saying? Shannon Sharpe don't do it for me, okay? When I look at him, I'm like, oh, you can have that one. You know what I'm saying? But if she went on and took like a Aaron Pierre or something, or if she went on and took a freaking Morris Chestnut or something, or if she took a Michael B. Jordan or Idris Elba or something like that, I'd be like, girl, give us back our man. Okay, laughing, right? So he just don't do it for me. You know what I'm saying? With that old, like I said, that slavery country draw. I don't like it. And it's funny because my husband from Mississippi, so I hear the country right all the time, which I never thought I would marry a dude that was like Southern like that. I always thought I would get with somebody that was Northern because I'm from DC. So I just thought, but God worked it out a certain way. But anyway, with the case, He just don't do it for me. That's all I'm gonna say. So with the case, right? So Shade Room on Instagram released the audio of their conversation, and in said conversation, he is up here telling this particular female that if you don't stop talking about whatever they was talking about, he's going to choke her. And so she got quiet, and he was like, "Thank you," right? He also alluded to the fact of some essay and all of that, and the girl was just trying to ask him, was he coming to see her, things like that. And you can tell in the conversation that he was very domineering over the girl, that you can tell that she was very immature, because at the time when this happened, she was 19 years old. Now, this is exactly what you get, Shannon Sharpe. This is exactly what you get. Because I don't know why y'all old men keep on going with these daggone young girls and think that nothing's going to happen. You know, if I was 19 in this generation, right, I wouldn't even get a job. You know what my job would be? My job would be to make sure that my waist is snatched, make sure that I'm cute, get these boobies pushed up, you know what I'm saying? Make sure I get me a BBL, and I would get myself around some wealthy, influential athletes and celebrities, because it appears that you all have not learned your lesson. And when I get around them, I would sit up here and mingle with them, co-mingle, find something that I could get them on, and then come out a couple of years later and sue them to the tune of $50 million and be paid. And that's what I would do. Kay said, yes, I agree with you, exactly right. So I don't even feel sorry for y'all dudes. Y'all sit up here, get with somebody in your age bracket that you have something in common with. Now, I understand this, right? Older men like a younger woman. That has been the thing since the beginning of time, okay? We get that. They like them some young women. However, the young woman is only going to satisfy your fleshly needs. It's not going to satisfy your intellect. It's not going to satisfy a conversation with her. Nothing else is going to be satisfied from this young girl. She's just something good to look at. And when she get mad at you in this generation, what is she going to do? She's going to go to the blog. She's going to post about you, and she's going to take half of your money. But then y'all men sit out here and don't want to get married. Well, I don't want to get married because she might take half of my money. It's like, okay, well, I would rather you lose half of your money, sir, in a divorce settlement than lose half of your money or a quarter of your money in a scandal where your name is smeared all over the blogs and all over social media. And now you got content creators coming out doing videos about your old country self because you sit up here and you want to get your thing wet with some young chick. What's up? What's wrong with 40-something-year-old women? We cool. We still got wet things and stuff too, and we could stimulate your intellect. You know what I'm saying? A 40-something-year-old woman would have been still younger than you, sir. Like, why didn't you do that? I don't get it. And then you sit up here and come out and respond to it. So we get Shannon Sharpe. He came out and responded, and of course he denied the allegations, and he said that the attorney Busby, what's his name? Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I take some notes sometimes. Tony Busby. He is representing the Jane Doe. Okay? Y'all know Tony Busby, right? All right. This lawyer likes to go after affluent and high wig celebrities. So remember, he went after Jay-Z with the Jay-Z case when that girl was accusing Jay-Z. Now, Jigga what? Jigga who? That used to be my... I used to love Jay-Z back in the day. Child, you could... That used to be, oh my God. When I was younger, my friends thought I was crazy, but I thought Jay-Z was like so cute. They was like, ew, he looked like the camel in the cigarette box. Like, why? And I was like, I don't know. It was the swag when he had his hair like low cut with the brim, with the New York brim and stuff, and the clothes. And it was just, I don't know what it was. It was just something about him when I was younger that I fanned out over, right? But as he got older, he got a little weird, and I was just like, I'm over it, you know. And then I got older and I got wisdom and stuff like that, and it wasn't a big deal, right? However, I do believe that now this victim of Jay-Z's wasn't if this victim of Jay-Z wasn't telling the truth. I do believe that Jay-Z was in them circles, and I believe that he did do something back in the day. He may not have done this victim, but something happened, right? However, we ain't talking about him, but Tony Busby is the one that tried that case, and he's also the one that is representing a few of the people in the Diddy case, okay? So now he's going after Shannon Sharpe. So I'm like, Shannon Sharpe, is your day. It's your day. The hens are coming to roost. Cat Williams told y'all in 2024, a lot of things about to get exposed. And dad on it, we are at freaking April. And you know how many things that has happened with all these high-powered people that has been exposed? It's just crazy. So Tony Busby is representing the girl. Shannon Sharpe did a recording saying that this is a shakedown, that Tony Busby is going after black men. Pause. Black men, I cannot stand when they do this victim mentality. You going after me because I'm the high-powered black man. It's like, well, high-powered black man. If you did not find yourself in uncompromising situations with old young girls, then nobody will have to go after you, sir. Keep your name out of them streets. Stay clean. You can be a celebrity and stay out of the spotlight, okay? You really, really can. You don't have to get in the spotlight. But because you have this predatory behavior to deal with a 19-year-old girl, then that's how we got here. You already know in this generation, something pop off. What is the thing that they like to do? Break out the phone and record. You're a celebrity. You are held at a higher standard. You are worth a lot of money. So why the heck would you sit up here and put yourself in an uncompromising situation? Now, this is all alleged, right? This is all alleged. Now, also on this story, right? Shannon Sharpe and his lawyer went to negotiate with the chick. How you negotiating with somebody if it's not true? If it's not true and you're not guilty, why are you negotiating with a terrorist? Like, why are you negotiating? I don't get it. But when you negotiate with somebody, that makes me feel like it's some truth to it, or you're trying to sweep something under the rug so it don't come out. But the girl probably said, screw that. I'm not negotiating with him. I want all the 50 mil, right? Shannon Sharpe also said he is suing Busby for defamation, okay? So I don't know if he's going to win that defamation case. He might win it because this is alleged. However, Shade Room with his shady self has dropped the audio and we all heard it. And the girl sounds immature on the audio. And you fell for it. At 56 years old, you should have some form of wisdom. But you don't. Because here we are talking about you. Okay? Let me see if there's anything else I want to touch on. Thank y'all for joining me. Go ahead and smash the like button. If you're not already a subscriber of the Redefine Me channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I do a plethora of various content over here. Okay, so last thing I'm going to touch on. This is not Shannon Sharpe's first time being in an uncompromising situation, okay? So this Jane Doe that we are talking about actually was having a conversation with him because she was mad. Why was she mad? Because Shannon Sharpe cheated on her with some chick named Michelle. So now this is so crazy, y'all. He says that he accidentally went live on IG having sexual relations with Michelle. Not the Jane Doe, with Michelle. We don't know what the Jane Doe name is. So the Jane Doe is mad because he broadcasted his sexual encounter on Instagram to all of his followers and she found out about it. And now this is where we're at, right? Okay. First of all, a woman scorned is the most pettiest thing ever. Don't cross us because we're going to go all the way. Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. When a woman is hurt, she will go to hell. She is not about to sit up here and say, oh, well, forget him, I'm moving on. Heck no. If she got something on you, she is going to do what she needs to do to feel her form of vindication. So he was on Instagram. He came out and said he accidentally went live. Now, for all of y'all who have Instagram, is there a way that you can accidentally go live on Instagram? No. So I don't know what the heck he's talking about. He did that on purpose. And Michelle even came out and said that he has recorded her without her knowledge because she didn't even know that he had, not only the Instagram had happened, well, she found out about it, of course, but I think on another occasion, he recorded her as well. Kane said he was lying. He did it on purpose. Absolutely. He did it on purpose with his old ugly self. Shannon Sharpe, he is old. And I think on his podcast, he has a makeup artist. So, Anyway, y'all, and I love me chocolate men. Like, my husband is chocolate, but, So, anyway, y'all, what else happened with him? That happened. Let me make sure I want to give y'all nothing else on this case. So, when they met, they was dating for 2 years, y'all. When they met, she was 19 years old, and he was 54. They met in the gym. Okay, they dated for 2 years, and now this case has come out. And you know what day they filed it on that was wild to me? They filed it on freaking Easter Sunday. I said, dang. I said, Jesus can't even have his day without y'all doing some petty, scandalous crap. Yeah, filed it on Easter Sunday. I said, what a Busby, you know what I'm saying, sir? Why would you file something on Easter Sunday? You could have waited till Monday. You could have said, let me do the next day because I don't want to file it on this day. But no, he came out his trick bag and filed it on Easter Sunday. I said, wow, that is crazy to me. Anyway, y'all, if y'all just stopping in, I just did another recap of the case because we got some new folks came in the building. If y'all already watched it before, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. This is normally the day that I do my Tasha topics, when I do a plethora of other things that are out in the streets of with the celebrities and any hot things that's going on and stuff like that. I love true crime. I love getting into pop culture things. And so I dedicated Wednesdays to doing kind of pop culture news, things of that nature. So if you like that type of stuff, if you do like true crime, I do drop some stuff on my channel about that as well. Oh, I'm going to talk about one last thing and then I'm going to get off of here. Did y'all hear about the lady, and I did a video on her on my channel, so y'all can go back and watch it, but I'm just going to touch on it. Her name is Sonia McKnight. She is a judge out of, I think, Pennsylvania. Child, if I can't have you, nobody will is a person. This woman, she was dating a dude for a year, for 1 year. And the dude said, you know what, I ain't got it to do. I ain't feeling you like that. You can go ahead and kick rocks and to the left, okay, and get out my house. How about Sonia said, and I am telling you, I'm not going. She stayed in that man's house for a whole week and he was trying to get her out. So one night he went to bed, right? 11 p.m. He said, listen, we're going to talk about this in the morning, right? Went to bed. This woman, when he went to sleep, got a pow-pow and pow-pow him in the head while he was sleeping. Now, here's the plot twist. Here's the plot twist. The man survived. Do you know how much of a miracle that is? He survived. And not only did he survive, yes, Kane, and he ended up testifying against her in court, recalling everything. Let me tell y'all something. God was on this man's side because we all know when you shoot somebody in the head, that's where the brain is. Lights out. Lights out. If you really want to unalive somebody, in the head is where you would go, right? One of the places, because there's other places too. But one of the places that quickly can end you is there. This man survived. Now, here is the other kicker to this that is so sad. Because she did this incident to him, he is now blind in one of his eyes. And the other eye that he can still see out of, he has to now have ongoing medical treatment for life. For life. I don't know if he's going every month. I don't know if he's going every other week or what it is. But for life, he has to have ongoing medical treatment. This is for life. This lady is 50, I think she's 50-something years old too. And now she is facing up to 60 years in jail. So she could possibly get 60 years. Now, here's another kicker. This ain't her first time doing something. This lady was married. And you know what she did to her husband? She got in an altercation with her husband. And what did she do? Pow-powed the man in the groin area. Right by his manhood. Pow-powed him there. So this lady is crazy. Certified. Now, I think she thinks because she's a judge that nothing's going to happen to her or she can get away with said crimes. Ma'am. No, ma'am. A jury found her guilty, okay? And now she's going to get sentenced, I think May 25th or something like that. So she's going to be sentenced. And yeah, she could possibly face 60 years in jail. Kane said, oh, she right, shaking my head. She needs to be under the prison. And can you imagine if she goes in the same prison of where she put away some of the people that came before her courtroom? Child. All I'm saying is She better get some strong protection. She better link up with somebody in that prison off the quickness. Become somebody's girlfriend quick, Miss Sonia, because you gonna need some heavy duty protection up in the prison streets, okay? I don't know what's up with these 50-some-year-old people wilding out like this. They gonna kick her tail right up in there, absolutely. Why are you wilding at 50-some years old? Listen. You should be in your golden years or something. You should be chilling, you know, especially people that have the money. Like Shannon, Sharpe, Sonia. I'm pretty sure judges make a lot of money. Baby, let me tell you something. If I had the money every other month, I would be in a vacation somewhere. Hey, y'all, I'm in Italy. Hey, y'all, I'm in Paris. Hey, y'all, I'm in the south of France. Wherever, I am going to be outside internationally. And if I'm at home, I'm going to be having my garden, planting my flowers, getting a water aerobics class. You know, rubbing oil on my husband's back or something. You know, I mean, yes, facts, absolutely. Like, I'm going to be living the soft girl life because I don't care what nobody say. The older you get, the better it gets, baby. I'm telling you, I am the most happiest, most financially stable, most everything at my older age over when I was in my 20s. When I was in my 20s, it was so ghetto adulting. Like 20s and early 30s, it was so ghetto there. I was broke. I was outside living a life not supposed to be doing stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a plethora of things in my 20s and my early 30s that I was just like, baby, it was so ghetto at that space. So I enjoy the wisdom that I have gained. I enjoy getting older. I enjoy living at this point because some women, and I don't understand how they get all these surgeries and they're mad about their age and whatever. I'm like, listen, if you don't get older, that means you're dead. So you should think about that. Like, I love getting older. When people ask me how old I am, I'm like, I'm 42. It ain't no secret out here in these streets. I'm 42. Yes, and I love it. 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 I don't have no beef with it. But it's just people that feel like getting older means that you are I don't know, like it's some death sentence or something. I want to get older because that means God is still blessing me to live. And he's given me the wisdom to be able to pass down things that I have went through in my 20s, in my early 30s to other women and help them out. You know, the older women should reach down and help the younger women. But Miss Sonia out here in these streets at her big age acting up as an older woman. You're supposed to be imparting wisdom, man. What the heck are you doing? And then Shannon, Sharpe, you're supposed to be helping the bros at your older age, but you out here in these streets funning and gunning with freaking 19-year-olds, 21 years old. What is wrong with you, sir? These women ain't got nothing in common with you. They don't even remember some of the sitcoms you remember. They don't even remember some of the commercials you remember. I would never date somebody that's 30-something years older than me. For what? What do we have in common? We don't have nothing in common, sir. Kick rocks. I've always been like that, though. You know, I've always kind of dated a little older myself. So I'm not judging Shannon Sharpe. Because when I was younger, my mom used to get on me all the time. And she might see this video, but whatever. She used to get on me all the time because I used to date really old. Like I remember when I was like 25, I think 25, 26, I was dating this guy that was like 50. Don't try to judge me. But why do young girls date older dudes, right? Because they want the money. They like the fact that he's an older guy. He's established. You know, Miss Kane like looking like, what? Yes, child, oh gosh. I used to date some guys, and that wasn't the only one. Like, I dated a lot of older guys. I never dated in my age bracket. And it's funny, I married in my age bracket. Me and my husband are the same age, but before I got married, I was always dating older. So I understand why this young chick would go after an older dude. And an older dude with money, the old dudes I was dating, they were security guards and freaking working at the shoe store and at Foot Locker. So I mean, I could get the hook up on some nice, you know, sneakers and stuff like that. Like, you know, but they wasn't no affluent, wealthy guys. They wasn't raking in money like Shannon Sharpe. You know what I'm saying? Because check this out. I wrote this down too. Club Shay Shay, the podcast that he do y'all know he is in negotiation right now Where I put it at? Yeah, he's in negotiation right now for $100 million deal. $100 million. $100 million deal for his podcast that he started on YouTube. Oh my God. And now this case comes out that's trying to take 50 of the 100 mil that's about to happen. So that has people also thinking that maybe this girl is reaching for the money. Maybe, but Shannon Sharpe, if you did not put yourself in these uncompromising situations, sir, you wouldn't have to worry about it. That's why she around, right? It's the bread. It has to be the bread, because Shannon Sharpe, like I said, he's not one of the men on the 50 top sexiest men. I mean, and then beauty is an eye of the beholder, you know what I'm saying? So somebody finds him attractive, you know, but he don't find, it's so crazy and it's so ridiculous how he don't find his own women attractive. You know, maybe if you would have stayed with the melanin, you know, the melanin, then maybe you might not be in this situation. Just me thinking. What's up? Is it Cassie? Cassie? Girl, the ring light in my face, I cannot see. I'm not windmilling for him. He told us to go buy horsehair and leave him alone. What? Hold up. I didn't know that. Did he really say that? His old raggedy self. He is just raggedy. Notice only black women come on his podcast, and he muses us to pay for OnlyFans. Yep. Wow. That's crazy. Did he say that? And it's crazy because, I mean, this could be a rabbit hole that we go down to. I don't know why it is that our men, and this is not all of the men. So if any black man come on right now and they about to start throwing rocks, I'm not talking about, this only applies to who I'm talking to, right? He said the only thing he can do with a black woman is hold us until the police. I can't believe that. Can't say, oh, he wild as it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't understand this, why let me say some of our black men do not like us. You came out the cooch of a black woman. Like, what is the problem? And Shannon Sharpe, you black. So don't sit up here and act like you black blue, sir. Don't sit up here and act like you not a part of our community. See, this is my thing. I don't have a problem with people dating interracially. I don't, right? I really don't. If you love somebody, you love somebody, right? If you want to be with a person, you be with a person because you love them. But when you are with another race, just out of the fact that you hate your own race of women, or you rather be with your own race, won't want to be with your own race of women because of stereotypes about us, then I have a problem with you. If you actually love a white woman, if you actually love a Hispanic woman, or whatever other race of women, that's cool. That's fine. Love is love, right? But at the same time, if you only with them because of all these narratives and stereotypes that you are painting about black women, now I have a bone to pick with you. They got mommy issues. Yep. So they take it out on us. Absolutely. It's like, so you don't really hate us, sir. You might have feelings about your mom, not us. Because black women, let me tell you something. First of all, these other races of women is trying to beat us anyway. Why do you think they go get their lips injected? Who got the lips? We got the lips. Why do you think they go and get implants? Who got the boobies? We got the boobies. Why do you think they go and try to get these BBLs, child? Who got the booty? We got the booty. Why do you think they go to these tanning booth salons? Because they trying to look like us, but they not like us. Shout out to Kendrick. They not like us, okay? But they try to beat us so bad. It's almost like they want our culture and they want our essence and aesthetics when it's good for them. But they use their Karen white woman when it benefits them. And I do not understand why our own men don't get behind us. Now, it's not even all of our men, because there are a large amount of our black men that loves us, that goes up for us. But it's a lot of them that sit up here and say they would rather be with another race. And when I ask them, and I'm adult enough to be in said conversations, like I am. When I ask a black man, why do you prefer a white woman? The first thing they say is that, well, I don't want no headache. I don't want no arguments. I don't want to go through this and that. So what I'm hearing you say, sir, is that you don't want a woman that's going to hold you accountable and want you to do well in life and inspire you and push you up to be great, because that's what we do for our men. They say it's nagging. We say, I'm going to turn that around, because it's not nagging. We don't nag. We are encouraging and inspiring you to be better. Now, there are some crazy women that do nag. But if I'm telling my husband, hey, I love you, I see potential in you, I think that you should try this, or we need to get this happening in the house, or let's map out a plan, or let's do this. We are trying to push you up and build something with you. But the crazy thing is, all you all could think about is the face value. All you all could think about is what's coming out of our mouth at the time. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, I feel triggered. You feel triggered. How do you feel triggered about your own women? Like, what was crazy to me is, like, we are running this hurdle together. My black brother, I'm your black sister. We are running this race together. If anybody understands each other, it should be us. I don't understand how y'all want to turn y'all back and go to another race. Them women don't understand you. Them women not going to pour into you when the world is up here hitting you in the face for being a black man. Them women are not going to sit up here and have your back and understand how you feel when you get pulled over by the police for just no reason at all, for being black, driving in a nice car. Them women not going to understand your hair texture. They not going to understand that you need lotion after you get out the shower. Them women is not going to understand you, black man. But you turn around when you go to these other races and think that they're going to sympathize or empathize with you. They can't understand, because they're not us. We are the ones that were slaving in our ancestors with you black back on the plantation. We the ones in the 50s and the 60s marching beside you, holding down the kids and holding down the house. And when you got home, food was ready and we was real cute in our little nice dresses. Y'all remember that era of time when women was really put together. You know what I'm saying? Now, I may look a little rough right now, but I like good makeup. I like, getting cute and all of that. I like my softness and my femininity and all of that. Bump what society is saying right now, black man. Black women are the sauce to your life. And the fact that they just don't see it, and they want to go and get in these uncompromised situations, and then they want to come back to us and be like, they trying to shake down the black man. And we looking at him like, don't nobody want to hear that. We don't want to hear it, because we tried to tell you in so many ways. So many ways. Same thing with Mr. OJ. Remember when he was with the black woman? Cool in the game. Soon as he got in the NFL and got money, when he was in the NFL, he got drafted to the NFL, he was with the black woman. Soon as he got in there, he started making some paper. Now, all of a sudden, she wasn't good enough. So he went and got with a white woman. And we all know how that story ended. Now, I ain't saying that it can't happen with other races of women. I'm just saying, you can love who you want to love, but don't trash your own kind of women. Don't do that, because we understand you in this world if nobody else does, because we know what it's like to be black, because we're black. Yep, he went over there and got screwed. And Shannon Sharpe, you got played, sir. Yes, you did, because she knew what she was doing. Like on my thumbnail, I think that's a picture of her. I hope that's a picture of her. If that's not a picture of her and that's of Michelle, my bad, Michelle. But I think that's a picture of her. But I mean, look at the girl. She looks immature, lacks no wisdom, petite, average looking white girl. You know what I'm saying? Come on, sir. And don't he got a child? I think he got a daughter. And I think it's by a black woman, if I'm not mistaken. I got to look that up. But I know he has a daughter. And what would you say if your daughter was dating some daggone 50-something-year-old man at 19 years old? What would you say? I mean, really? Child. This whole thing had me a little annoyed. And it's just like, you get what you get. You win stupid prizes when you play stupid games. You should have got with somebody in your age bracket, sir, and not one of these what's this generation called? Is this the Gen Zers? I don't know. Are they Gen Z or whatever they are? I don't know. Whatever. I'm a millennial. After the millennials, I don't know what happened. But you get with these old Gen Zers, and what you think going to happen? It's just a matter of time before something hits the blog and the media. Like, y'all got too much money to be too stupid. And I guess having money don't mean that you are intelligent or that you are knowledgeable. It just... Stop putting yourself in uncompromising situations. That's all I gotta say to all the celebrities. If any celebrity watches my channel, what's up? Shout out to y'all. Stop putting yourself in uncompromising situations, right? Because this should not have happened. This should not have been a thing. You should not be out here now defending yourself. But you're next on the chopping block. And Cat Williams warned you, but you didn't listen. You should have cleaned up that stuff when Cat Williams said something about it. You should have cleaned it up. But anyway, y'all. That's my thoughts on this whole case. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this whole case. We gonna see what happens. Of course, I'm gonna keep my ear to the streets because I love this type of stuff. Like, I love reporting on pop culture, and I love reporting on all various types of stuff. Anything I come across that I find is interesting, more than likely I put it out on my channel. But what I'm trying to get into next is doing reaction videos. That's what I'm trying to do next. I'm about to get my StreamYard back up, and I'm going to get into some reaction videos because I believe when we get into the reaction videos, it is going to be a mess. Like, I like watching body cams too and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to get into some reaction videos on the body cam circuit and on all types of other circuits. Janae, sorry, oh no, it is so okay. You can go back and watch the replay. It's okay. Yes, me too. Keep these coming. And yes, the reaction videos too. Absolutely, Kane. Shout out to Kane, y'all. If y'all in the room, y'all need to run. Run like you about to break your heel on your daggone good pair of heels. Run to Miss Kane's YouTube channel, baby. Oh my goodness. Baby, you're going to get your life. All her story times are amazing. She does not know how many times she has got me through a rough work night. I'm telling you, her story times are funny, funny, funny. I be hollering at work. And they be like, what the heck are you watching? I'm like, Miss Kane, Big Kane in the building. So if you have not subscribed to her channel, please go over there and subscribe to her channel. She is the bomb.com. You are going to love every single story time. I promise you, you're going to get your life. Especially the ones with Josh. The ones with Josh, and as soon as I hear his name in the story time, I'll be like, oh my God, this is about to be funny. But what's funny about Josh, though, is the fact that he was wild, but he was truthful on some of the stuff. I agree with him on some of the stuff. I was like, yeah, that is true. But I'm like, dang, why are you so angry all the time? You could have found a better way to say it. He said my crazy life. Yes, but listen, we all have had some crazy lives. But however, it's good to look back and talk about what has happened because it could help somebody else. Yes, and Janae in the building as well. If you all have not subscribed to Janae's channel, head over to Janae's channel and subscribe to her channel as well. She does content on different reality shows, and she is growing her YouTube channel. I'm so proud of Janae. Go over there and subscribe to her channel as well because everybody can eat on YouTube. We just got to help each other grow in this space. And I feel like if the smaller end content creators will go ahead, follow each other, and then talk about other content creators, sure, we'd be at 1,000 or more subscribers like that and get the watch hours like that and then get that money, that monetization in the building like that. So, you know, but baby, yes. So 2 ladies in the room, go ahead and support their YouTube channels. I love both of them. But them story times, child, ooh, gosh. And it's like, I want to come out and do more story times, right? But my story times, I was outside. It was a lot. It was too much. Yes, let's help each other out. I'm telling you, that's all we got to do. My story times will have y'all like, she was outside being a ho, Merry Christmas. Boy, in my 20s, boy, I ain't have a child yet. I had my own car. I had a job. I ain't had no major responsibilities. I was still living at home, baby. I was outside. I was everywhere. I was outside. I was outside. And it's funny because New York was my second home. Baby, I stayed in New York. I stayed in a different borough every time I went. I would go to New York every like 2 or 3 months. I would book a Greyhound bus ticket. It was $50. It used to be $50 for a round trip. And I would go on a weekend. I would leave on Friday and I would leave on Sunday. And I would stay in every borough every single time I went, and I would have a good freaking time by my daggone self. Because my friends was like, let's do something this weekend. And I was like, I'm about to pop up to New York. And they was like, don't nobody want to go up there. I was like, okay, well, I'm going by myself. Nobody wanted to go with me. And so I went by myself. One time, one of my friends did go with me, and we had a good time and everything, but I was being a ho Merry Christmas when she had went with me, because it was this guy that I was talking to. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all this quick story time. Since Kane in the building, I'm gonna give y'all like a snippet, little really quick story time, okay, about this dude. So, all right, y'all, we finished talking about Shannon Sharpe, so we just vibing right now, real quick. So, all right. Okay, this is how it goes. So the setting is NYC, okay? And at the time I was 20 something, right? So initially when I went to college for interior design. I still love design to this day, but I did not graduate with interior design. But I love making spaces beautiful. And so I went to school for interior design. And so a instructor of mine said that, you know what y'all should do? Y'all should check out at Pier 94 the weekend was coming up for Pier 94 for you to go do an interior design. It was like some big interior design convention that was happening in Pier 94. And Pier 94 is in New York. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check it out, right? So cool. So one of my girlfriends, she said, you know what, I'm going to come with you, you know? And so I was like, finally, somebody's going to come with me to New York. Thank you. So cool. We get ourselves together. Now, mistake red flag number one, I drove. If you've never been to New York, do not drive. Don't drive. I drove. Because when you get on the New Jersey Turnpike, it just seemed like you're driving forever. And I was like, oh my God, it's 2 hours on the New Jersey Turnpike by itself. So anyway, when I drove, right, don't drive. See, that's where you messed up at, right? I messed up. Don't drive. So we end up hitting New York, right? We hit New York. Okay. We get to our hotel. Now, we did not stay in New York City. We actually stayed in Elizabeth, New Jersey, right? And we met these two really cute dudes. But anyway, that's part of us. Okay, so we stayed in Elizabeth, New Jersey, right? And so I had a friend that I liked, okay? I had met him on Black Planet. Shout out to Black Planet. Y'all remember back in the day. So, met this friend on Black Planet. Me and him connected, right? Because we both Geminis. That was red flag number 2. Gemini women, cool. Gemini men, a little crazy. Oh snap. Elizabeth is the next. Oh yeah, Janae, you're from New Jersey. Yes. Oh, from where I'm from? Yes. So okay, so met him. I'm just gonna give him a name. Yes, Black Planet. I'm gonna give him a name. Let's call him shoot. His actual name would be great, but I don't want to put his business out there in the street. So I'm going to call him Raymond. All right. So I met Raymond on Black Planet, right? And we both vibed. Now, at the time when I met Raymond, I was 18 and he was like 27, 28. Okay. So Raymond he lived in New York. He was from the Bronx, right? I lived in DC, of course. And so it was like, dang, we got to meet up. So Raymond decided that he was going to actually move to DC. And I was like, oh, bet he's going to move here because he has a brother that lives in Maryland. So he finally got here. He got to Maryland. He was staying with his brother, right? We kept missing each other for some reason and not connecting. So one day in DC, they had this big taste of DC type situation where all these different people come out and you can taste all these different foods from the restaurants and stuff. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to the taste of DC. So I get on the train And while I get in the train, now mind you, it was crowded. People was everywhere in this train station. And this ties up to the New York trip. People was everywhere in this train station, right? And so when I walked in on the platform, who did I see? Raymond. Out of all these people, I was like, how the heck did I bump into Raymond? So I'm thinking like, oh, this must be Godson. Because I bumped into Raymond. So I bumped into Raymond and he was like, oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. So at the time, I loved a good old New York accent, child. The men with the New York accent, I was just like, oh my God. It made the cooch downstairs go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Every time I heard them talk, I was just like, oh. So anyway, so Raymond met him. We went to the Taste DC. We vibed out for a minute. Then Kane's laughing. Then we went ahead. We got on the train. He was like, you trying to, come back to my brother's house, right? So we went back to the brother's house. Now, the brother ended up doing something else because Raymond probably was like, hey, bro, I'm about to go back to the house with this chick. Go find something else to do, right? So Raymond went ahead, his brother went ahead, me and Raymond got in the train and we went to his brother's apartment. When we got to the apartment, child, it went down. Raymond was well endowed. Like the sex was sexing. Like here I am 18 and he's like 27, 28, right? 10 years older than me. Boy, when I say back was blown out, back was blown out. And not only was it good, he took his time. Like it was crazy. After my encounter with Raymond, I was sprung. Every time I was driving in DC or when I was driving somewhere and I saw a New York license plate, I was like this. I was sprung. Raymond had the nose wide open. Wide open. That thing was thangin'. I'm telling y'all. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So let's get off of Raymond. Get off of Raymond and his little ping. Okay. So after that happened, right? So me and Raymond still talk to each other. He was in Maryland. This was great. Okay. So 9/11 hit. All right. 9/11 hit in 2001. So 2001, 9/11 hit. He has a daughter that lived in New York. So he said, listen, I'm going to go back to New York because I want to be with my daughter. And I was like, dang. So went back to New York. Now, back up to the encounter, the sexual encounter with Raymond. Child, this was when Carl Thomas came out with his CD Emotional. Let me tell you something, that whole CD was a vibe. If you about to get down to it, put that CD on. You ain't even gotta skip it because it was so good. We let that CD play. The encounter was so strong that CD went twice. No skips or nothing. So anyway, fast forward. We going past that. I just wanted to throw that up in there. Shout out to Carl Thomas, okay? You made that time really good. All right, so we got to 9/11. He went back to New York. I was devastated. I was like, dang, man, dang. Just dang, took Raymond back and everything because he was a cool guy. We didn't have no beef, no issues or nothing. And he was, they say, Lord, he was cool. So he got back to New York, got back to his daughter, and I stayed in DC, of course. All right. Fast forward, me and him still continued to talk. What's crazy is that as soon as he got back to New York, the daughter's mom ended up getting married and she moved to Texas and took the daughter. And I was like, well, dang, so you done moved back for no reason. So now fast forward, we get to the interior design convention, right? It was maybe like a year or two later, right? We get to this interior design convention. My girlfriend comes with me, and I'm just like, all right, we drive and everything like that. Okay, cool. Stayed in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and we would just go into the city. Now, at the time, to get into New York, I think it was like $6 to get in. I don't know what it is now, but we were driving to the city. And so Raymond was like, okay, well, when you're done with the convention, let me know. So we in New York, right? And everything is just live. You know, if you're not from there, it's just big. Everything's big. Hair done, nails done, everything big, right? So we went in this Sephora. Now, me and my girlfriend, we loved us some Sephora. Now, Sephora had like 4 levels. I was like, well, we about to be up in here. But Raymond wanted me to call him when we got out because he's thinking, okay, so if you live south of New York, or south of that area, you were country. to them. So he thinking, y'all these country girls up here in New York, I don't want y'all to get taken advantage of, and I don't want y'all to, you know what I'm saying, have an issue. So he was like, call me. It's almost $20 now. Really? Oh my God. Dang. So that's why I wouldn't drive no more up there. For that, the parking and the traffic, I would never drive again. So we went to the Sephora. We was in the Sephora, I know, for like an hour and a half, having a good old time. It was so much in that Sephora, we couldn't see it all. We would have had to make several trips. So we come out to Sephora. Who's coming down the walkway is Raymond, right? He got this look on his face like he is like mad, and he's like, what the heck happened? Like, y'all supposed to call me. I thought y'all got lost on the train and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, nah, we was at the Sephora and we was chilling. We was going to call you when we got out or whatever. He was like, oh, okay. I mean, don't do that. You know, just let me know what's up. I said, oh, okay, cool. So fast forward, we went to the hotel, right? We went to the hotel and we had double beds in the room. So Raymond's hanging out with me and my friend. We had a few little drinks, stuff like that. And we was chilling. We was vibing and everything like that. So as the night went on, it got a little later. And I already told y'all what's up with Raymond. You know what I'm saying? So we got a little later. But I'm like, dang, we can't freaking do this because my friend is right next door in the next bed. So how the heck are we going to pull this off? So he was just like, well, we'll just be quiet. He said, we'll just be quiet, right? So I said, I'm in my 20s. I'm like, all right, screw it. Cool. So me and Raymond start getting down to the get down while my friend is in the next bed. Now, I had never participated in any activity with a friend in the room. Like, I just don't do that. I'm just like, that's a private, situation. So we got down to the get down. All of a sudden, my friend is like, can I turn the TV up so I don't hear y'all? I was like, oh my God. I was so embarrassed. I was like, wait. I said, so she can hear? And Raymond actually got off on it. He was like, oh yeah, she listening. I said, no. This is not a porno. Like, get off of me and get out of me because this is turning into something that I did not want to do. So we ended up, still doing it or whatever. And I'm pretty sure it got active. I'm pretty sure it got kind of loud because she turned the TV up or whatever and we did our thing. Now, here is the next part of this story. So after we finished, right, Raymond fell asleep. So we in the bed. I was in, she in the other bed. Now, fast forward, the next morning comes. We about to get up to go to Pier 94 again because it was like a whole weekend thing. Now, she goes and I think she went outside because my friend at the time smoked cigarettes. So she went outside to get a cigarette, right? And so Raymond tells me, hey, I don't know what's wrong with your friend, but when I woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom, she was sitting on the bed crying. And I was like, oh my God, crying? So here I am thinking to myself, is she crying because we was over here breaking the freaking bed down? I'm like, what was she crying over? Like, I'm trying to figure out. So Raymond also smoked too. So he went ahead and he left the room when she came back so he can go smoke. So I asked her, I said, why he told me you was crying and everything like that. And she was like, oh, I was just thinking about something. I was going through this, going through that. It wasn't nothing major, right? And I was like, oh, okay. So we went to the Pier 94. Okay. And we went to the Pier 94 and we finished the Pier 94. We was going to go back to the hotel room. We was leaving the next day. So Raymond goes on to the Bronx and he does his thing or whatever. We had parted ways. Now we get to this little restaurant in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and in walks these two dudes. Now these two dudes, the one that was talking to me was cuter than the other one. However, they walked up to us, they was talking to us, so we started talking to them and we're vibing out, we having drinks and stuff like that. Now I already done had my fun time with Raymond. I told y'all I was outside. Okay, so I had my fun time with Raymond and everything, and that ended, so I met another dude. Now, I didn't get down and dirty with this dude, so I know what y'all thinking. I ain't hoeing Merry Christmas like that. So we ended up getting with these dudes, talking with them, having drinks with them, stuff like that. We exchanged phone numbers and everything, and we was going to see what it do. So when we got ready to leave, because we was about to go back to the room, Now, at the time, it's funny because my girlfriend, she had a boyfriend that was back in Maryland, but she still got the number of this dude because her boyfriend in Maryland was an idiot. I hated this dude. He was the worst. He treated her like trash. He was just horrible to her. And I wanted her to be done with this dude, right? I really, really did. I couldn't stand him. But that was her decision, right? And so when we got ready to go back to the hotel room, this trip was wild because of what just happened. So we go to start the car. Now, at the time, I had a 2002. So it was in 2002, right? So I had a 2002 Chevy Cavalier. I love this car. My grandfather co-signed for me to get it. It was brand new off the lot. My aunts was hating on me because they was like, you are daddy. You're going to co-sign to get your granddaughter a car. He said, stop hating. I can do what I want for my granddaughter because I was spoiled. So I got this car, right? And we about to leave. I go to start the car up, y'all. The car did not start. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what's wrong with the car? Now, I don't know nothing about cars. So the two dudes is standing out there like, I don't know. They lifting up the hood. You know how men do. They lift up the hood and try to act like they know what they doing, but they don't. So they lifting up the hood, right? And I'm just like, dang, what the heck is wrong with the car? And I'm up here thinking, what the heck am I going to do? We live in DC. We're in New York. We're like 4 hours away. How the heck are we going to get home? All this stuff happening. So my girlfriend, she ends up calling the horrible boyfriend that I hate. He actually knew something about cars. So she calls him and he says, okay, this is what you're going to do. It's probably the starter. Get something that you can hit the starter with. While you're hitting it, have her start the car. So it just so happened I had a hammer in my trunk. Now, don't ask me why I had a hammer in my trunk. I do not know why I had a hammer in my trunk. So get the hammer out the trunk. The girl is tapping the starter, right? I started. Soon as I did that, the car starts up, right? I'm like, oh my God. I said, so this Negro is good for something other than getting on my nerves and just getting on her nerves and just being a daggone sore, okay, or a cancer to society. You know? So it starts up. I was like, thank God. So he tells us on the phone, now that the car is started, y'all can't turn it off because if y'all turn it off, y'all gonna be in the same situation. So I told my girlfriend, I said, but if we turn it off and we just get the hammer and do what we did again, won't it start up? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So we're going to turn it off and we're going to do what we do. So it ended up starting. We ended up still vibing with the dudes and everything like that. We left them, went back to the hotel room. Next day we left. We got on the road. The car did unfortunately shut off like that like again. But we went to the trunk and we had trusty hammer. We was able to tap, 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 start it up, and we was gone. So we made it back to DC in a good time, and it was dope. And we had a good trip for the most part. But a lot of stuff happened on that trip. And that's the story time. Oh my God, that was crazy. And you know, I hate the Bronx. I hated the Bronx. That was the worst borough that I ever stayed in. Because it was another time that I went and stayed the weekend with Raymond. And when I tell you, all I heard was like Mexican music all weekend. It was like dun 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 dun. I was like, what the heck? Dude, can they change the CD? Change the record. Why the heck are we hearing this the whole weekend? Oh, the Bronx, me too. Yes, I'm telling you. And then not only that, the whole building smelled like weed. The whole entire building smelled like weed. When I got back to DC that time, all my clothes that I had on, it was in my hair, it was in my clothes, it was in my bag of clothes. I had to dump everything in a wash machine. I had to wash my hair. It was a whole ordeal. I was like, why is this whole building lit? Literally. But anyway, y'all, that's the story time. And that's the Shannon Sharpe topic that we talked about. And we also mentioned that lady, the judge that unalived or tried to unalive her ex, okay? If it's your first time joining the Redefine Me family, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We have a good, great time over here. I love doing YouTube, love vibing with y'all. I thank y'all for joining me. I don't know if I'm gonna put out any more story times because y'all gonna be like, she is. My aunt lived in the Bronx and her apartment building smelled like urine. She was sweet, but I hated going over there. Girl, listen, if Raymond, if Raymond didn't have, you know, what he was working with, I probably wouldn't have stayed in that apartment. But boy, oh boy. And so just to give y'all this last little snippet, me and Raymond no longer talk, of course, because I'm married now. But even before I got married, our friendship ended because the Negro asked me to borrow some money one time, and I sent it to him and let him borrow it because he claimed his car was about to get this is a full another story time. This is crazy. Okay, he claimed his car was about to get it was in the what was it, impounded or something crazy, and so he needed like $300 to get it out, and so he asked me if I had it, right, and I was like, yeah, I got it. So I sent it to him, and he said, you know, I'm gonna get you back when I get paid. I said, all right, so when's payday? In 2 weeks. All right, cool. I'm thinking we cool. We ain't never had no bad issue, no bad blood, you know. So I sent him the money and everything like that. So 2 weeks came, nothing. So at the time, I was a very forgiving person, and I was one of them people that was just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because we ain't never had no bad blood. So another 2 weeks came, and nothing. So at this time, I called him. I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the money or what's going on? So he was like, oh, my check was short, you know, always excuses, right? And so he went ahead and he sent me $100, right? Fast forward, long story short, this Negro, where the money at, Wigger? Exactly. So fast forward, this Wigger, we're gonna use Kane word. This Wigger, it took him 5 months to pay me back $300. At that point, I was just like, you know what? And the fact that I had to keep asking for it, I said, you know what? The thrill is gone. And then I was getting older too. And Raymond started to look different. I don't want to say I wasn't trying to be superficial, but he started going through some skin issues. Like his skin started peeling and stuff. He started having some like health issues because, mind you, he's like 10, maybe 11 years older than me. So at this time when he borrowed the money, I was like 30. I probably was like 31, 32, something like that. So he was my age, right? Or maybe 43 when these things started to happen. So he wasn't old, but he started to look old. And I was just like, I was like, So the thrill was gone. Like it was gone. You know, I had already been, you know, talking to other, you know, guys and stuff like that. And so the thrill was gone, you know what I'm saying? I had already, the New York accent from the dudes, that was gone out the window. I was like, nobody care about that no more. Like I was just, I was different, you know what I'm saying? I just wasn't on the same wavelength with him. But we was always cool. So that's why I was just kind of open, you know what I'm saying? And giving him the whole, you know, money. But I didn't think I was going to have to wait 5-6 months for $300. I said, what kind of job you got? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out. So, and then in the process of the money hole situation too, his mom had passed, and I had met his mom when I was in New York one time. She was such a nice lady. She was a really nice lady. So I felt bad. So that's why I had gave him more time to kind of get the money, and I didn't really say anything. But yeah. I was like, I'm gonna need my money though. I know stuff happens, but I need my money. And at this time, I had my daughter by this time. So I was a single mom and you know, I needed the money. I was just like, give me my money back. Shoot, before I have to come up there and handle some business, you know what I'm saying, DC style. But anyway, y'all, that's it for me. That's it for me. Y'all keep me in y'all prayers. I gotta go to work. I work at the post office, y'all, and work has been working like crazy because we still in tax season and everybody waited to do their taxes late, like everybody. And we got a lot of mail and it is going down up in there. Sometimes I don't even get off when I'm supposed to. Like I work 8 hours, but my supervisor be like, can you work overtime? And I'm like, shoot. So I be up in there 10 hours sometimes. And then she has me training these new people and stuff. And I'm just kind of like, oh, and on top of that, it's hot in that daggone place. I wore some biker shorts last night, and she gonna tell me I can't wear these biker shorts no more. I said, well, I can't help it because I got curves and I'm voluptuous. So you gonna tell me I can't wear these biker shorts because you a bag of bones and you gotta be a supervisor and you can't dress and wear some cool and stuff. And while she telling me I can't wear the shorts no more, her face covered in sweat. I said, baby, you might need to put on these shorts because you about to pass out. Janae said I was one of them. Waited until the last minute. Yes, me too though, because truth be told, I just did mine the other day. So I know my tax lady was like, what is wrong with you? Get these taxes in. You know what I'm saying? But if you live in Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas, they extended our tax time to May 1st. So ours is due May 1st. Kane's like, same here. So yeah, my supervisor hating. And I got them biker shorts in every color. I might put some on tonight. I'm like, what you gonna do? She told me something. If you wear them again, I'm gonna have to send you home. I might wear them again. I might wear them tonight so she could send me home. And then she send me home. I could be chilling and Netflix and chilling with my husband. Gosh, but she ain't gonna do it because we got so much mail up in there. It's almost like, send me home then. Send me home. Because I promise you, you're going to pay for it. Because I am a good daggone employee. And she act like the shorts was something weird. I'm going to show y'all the shorts, right? I'm going to stand up. Because I got on a pair. Let me pull them down. Okay. So, excuse the whole outfit. Because I ain't styling. But these are the shorts. These are the biker shorts. Okay. So they got pockets on the side. They are very comfortable. So this is where they come at. And I had a shirt on. I had a looser shirt on. So she didn't like it. She didn't like it. Thank you, Kane. Thank you. Amazon. Got them on Amazon. She ain't like the fact that I want freaking shorts in. I said, well, what the heck you want me to do? I can't help it. If these men up in here in their flesh looking at me, she a hater, I know. If you're looking at me, trying to sexualize me, that's between you and Jesus. You don't take it up with me. I'm up in here moving the mail. I ain't paying attention to these wiggers. Thank you. She is a big hater, and she mad. She has a nasty attitude, this freaking supervisor. She get on my daggone nerves. And everybody in operation do not like her. But what's crazy is that they keep trying to figure out what's wrong with her. So I told them, I said, I figured out what was wrong with her. I said, the problem is that this is what it is. So everybody was leaning in close. They was like, what is it? I said, the problem is that she has split ends. She has split ends and thin hair. So that's the problem. And they was like, they was like, Tasha, shut up. I said, that's her problem. Because she got split ends. And she got thin hair. So she gets mad because I got thick locks and she got thin hair. So she's just mad about it. And I'm just like, girl, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It could get thicker. You know what I'm saying? As women, we can put on some wigs. We can get a sew-in. We could do what we got to do. You know, we ain't got to live with the thin hair. You know what I'm saying? But she don't like it. So then she hating on my biker shorts. And I had them pulled up a little bit on me so I can pull them down too. And I was like, they're not even that bad. But then they'll let the men up in there come in there with hoochie daddy shorts on. And they let the men come in there with these tight sweatpants showing their little thing-a-lang-a-lang in the middle. And I'm just like, that's not okay. That's not okay. But y'all sit up here and get mad at us for wearing like a biker shorts or shorts that's above your knees. I'm like, it's freaking hot in here. Until the air starts working, I'm not going to change. Like, come on. Right. They be in there, I'm telling you. And they be showing the print trying to get attention. And it's not cute. I don't want to see your print, sir. But they do it all the time. And then they try to act like they don't know. Like if a guy's walking towards you with some tight sweatpants on and he got a print in the sweatpants, you're going to look at it. Like it's not like you're trying to look at it. It's not like you like zooming in on it. You're going to see it because it's coming straight towards you. You know, so it's just kind of like, why are y'all are cringe. Y'all are nasty. Stop doing that stuff. But I'm not trying to be cringe. I'm just trying to be cool. And then I got my biker shorts. I be having my fan. I take this fan to work. I put the fan. This is how the fan goes. I put it around my neck, and it just blows in my face. And I be getting my whole life all freaking night. Okay? She mad because she ain't got no fan. Because I said, what you're not going to do is kill me up in this building. You're not going to kill me up in here because it's hot in there. Because they're remodeling the place I work at right now, which we shouldn't even be in the building. But they're remodeling the place. And so because of that, they don't have the air conditioning unit properly going. And I live in Atlanta. So freaking, look, right now, in Atlanta right now, I think it's like 70-something degrees outside. But inside the building, it feels like 90 degrees. And so you want me to sit up here and dress like a daggone Muslim lady in a daggone, warehouse bill? I'm not about to do that. Like, are you crazy? No. Hot Atlanta, and that ain't no lie. And it's just April. Wait until it hits July. Oh my gosh. And for some reason inside the plant that I work in, they don't like to turn the air on. I don't know what it is, but in the wintertime, the air be on. I'm like, y'all are stupid. So anyway, y'all, to say all of that, y'all keep me in y'all good thoughts, y'all prayers that I have a good night. Because I work in the warehouse part of the post office. And what people don't understand is the post office has so many moving parts. The place where you take your mail, that's the final destination. That's where the carriers get the stuff and they take it and they're going to drop it off to you. But we also have warehouses that has to sort the mail, that has to do all types of stuff before it even hits the carrier. So, yeah. I work in the warehouse part where we go through a whole process. Now, the post office, you make good money, you got good benefits and stuff, but I don't want to be there. I don't foresee myself, the way I'm moving with some of the business things I have, the way I'm trying to move on YouTube, I don't foresee myself being there for much longer because it's not a fun place. I do not enjoy going to work anymore. I just don't. It's almost like I'm doing it because I got to have a paycheck. And my check this week, one of the supervisors messed up the check. This heifer, oh, she sat up here and messed up the check. I missed a day. And a day may not be a lot to some people, but if you make a certain amount, a day is a big deal. And it was a big deal for me, okay? And rent time coming up and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, ma'am, why are you messing up my check? Their checks always be right, but they always messing up our checks. My uncle works for the post office too in the warehouse. Yes. He about to retire soon. Yeah. And they just retired like 40 people. So we are so swamped because they're not trying to hire nobody right now, but they're trying to overwork the people that's already there. So we're swamped. It's hot in there. 40 people retire. And when they retire, they did not train anybody. So they took all the knowledge that they have with them and they didn't train nobody. And now we up in there. For the most part, we understand what to do in certain operations, but some of the stuff we, winging it sometimes. So post office is very ghetto. It's very ghetto to work there. But anyway, let me get off of here. I said I was gonna get off of here a little bit ago, but let me get off here because I gotta go make some lunch and get ready to go to work. I be having to put on music and hype myself up. Everything, like I don't even. Anyway. Again, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If y'all not following me, y'all can find me on TikTok. Y'all can find me on Instagram. Y'all can find me on Threads. I'm going to link all of that. When I post this video, I'm going to comment and link where you can find me at on social media platforms. Over on TikTok, I be putting out some controversial sometimes topics. And I put out one video about, have a good night, Janae. I put out one about Arthur Metcalf. Austin, his name is Austin. Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony, the two 17-year-olds in Texas that had that issue that went on at the track meet. I put out some thoughts about it, and boy, somebody in the comments called me a coon. I said, a coon? What are you, born in 1912? You gonna freaking call me a coon? What kind of, how old are you, sir? You couldn't joan on me on something that was more 2025? I don't even know what the heck a coon is. What does that even mean? I was like, what? I said, a coon? I clutched my imaginary pearls. I was like, oops. I said, a coon. I said, sir. I said, it ain't that deep. Wow, right. I said, what the heck is a coon? What kind of slavery, swing low, sweet chariot, picking cotton term is that? A coon? I said, wow. I said, okay, well, I guess. I started to say your mama, but I wasn't about to be that petty. Because I be giving people back what they give to me. I match energies, you know what I'm saying? If you come and calling me a coon, I'll be like, oh, okay. And your mama is so fat, she jumped up in the air and got stuck. That's how I go. My husband be like, your jokes be so corny, but I'm like, I don't care, I laugh. And it's an old joke anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I said, you can't hurt my feelings. I grew up in a family that's what we did. We joned on each other. I have like 10, 11 cousins, first cousins, 5 aunts and everything. And so when all of us get together and we have kids now, we all get together. It's like 20-some people in the house and we jone. So if you don't have tough skin, you ain't gonna make it in my family, baby. I'm telling you now, because we would joan on you like crazy. And it'd be so funny. And one of my cousins, he always gets in his feelings. And we'd be like, dude, you grew up in this family, so you know what time it is. But so when people say stuff to me, it don't hurt my feelings. I could care less. I could care less. But I just give my opinions. And I'm just like, why is it so bad for a person to give their opinion these days? Everybody is not going to agree. And I always say it's my opinion. This isn't fact. This isn't the law or nothing like that. It's my opinion on situations. It does not mean that you have to agree with me. We can agree to disagree. But just be an adult about the situation. And don't be calling me no coon. I'm like, what the heck is a coon? I had to ask somebody at my job. I said, what's a coon? I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it is. And they was just like, oh, that's a black person that's a sellout or something like that. I said, really? I said, oh, okay, well. And then somebody called me Candace Owens. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you. Because I think Candace Owens is a very intelligent black woman. So if you're going to compare me to a very articulate, well-educated, intelligent black woman, I'll take that. You know, I don't always agree with her views, but some of the views I do agree with. So, you know what I'm saying? People crazy, but when you get in the social media space, you get all type of nut jobs, you know, so it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for vibing with me. We almost been on here for 2 hours. Let me get off of here. Let me go take care of what I need to take care of. I love y'all so much, man. Y'all have a happy and blessed evening until we meet again. Bye.